question is, are you ready?
What do you guys want to talk about?
Let me talk to you. Yeah.
Throwdown Nation, we are live. It is a Friday night. We are rolling on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter /X, Facebook, and Twitch. It is episode 185. I can't believe we've managed to do 185 of these, but we have. Episode 185 of the Throwdown, where we celebrate the art and sport of professional wrestling with a strong focus on the indies. I'm your host, Matt, and today we are throwing down with a Laredo, Texas-based wrestler, the Passionate One himself, Mr. Johnathan Life. Johnathan is making a big splash in Texas and is part of the South Texas Killers faction. How you doing tonight, sir?
Doing really good. First and foremost, congratulations on 185 episodes. That's tremendous. That's so sick. Very happy for you. Can't wait for 185 more after this one. So very, very happy to be here. Proud to be a part of it. It's so sick. I'm doing really good. Thank you for having me.
Well, definitely over the moon to have you, man. This is pure and simple a labor of love, man. I love this stuff, and you know it's just a blast doing these. And let me go ahead and direct everybody's attention to the ticker that's running on the bottom of the screen. That contains all, or at least most, of Jonathan's social media accounts, along with mine. So do us a favor, if you aren't following or subscribed, please take the time to go to each of our platforms and do so. You know, it definitely helps both of us. And any questions or comments that you have, just throw them in the chat and we'll either handle them as we go or do a little Q&A at the end. And we've already got some people coming in over on the Instagram chat. We've got Red Davis.
Oh, love you, Red.
And looks like we've got something. We've actually got over on YouTube, we've got Brianna Franklin, who actually is a previous, she's been a previous guest on the Throwdown. We did a super fan spotlight with her, and actually at this point now, she is actually training at the House of Champions in Orlando, Florida, to follow the wrestling dream herself.
That's really awesome. Congratulations on the new journey. I hope, God willing, it all goes well and, you know, stay safe. And that's really awesome. All the best to her.
Absolutely. So we'll go ahead and get started with the first and really the most obvious question, and that is, how long have you been wrestling?
I've been wrestling for 10 years. I've been in the business for 11, but actively wrestling, I'm gonna say 10. During the pandemic, the only year I didn't get to wrestle was in 2021. But right before the pandemic, I know that everyone had to shut down because of quarantine. But from 2014 up to 2020, that was the 6 years. Didn't wrestle 2021, came back in 22 and wrestled 22, 23, 24, and of course 25. So we are at 10 years actively wrestling, but 11 years in the business. So
Gotcha. So who actually trained you?
It was a plethora of people.
Okay.
I started paying my dues for this local company called Laredo Wrestling Alliance, LWA. So it was in January, February, where in January, February 2014, where I was just kind of setting up the ring, turning on the ring, just kind of getting my foot in the water and trying to soak up knowledge and trying to get some in-ring training. And, it was people, George Benavides, who goes by George Wolf, Luis Ramirez, who is Luis Spartan Ramirez, Rick Martinez, Bandana Joe, who is Alvaro Riojas. He's the Spanish commentator for AEW. It was just a helping hand amongst a lot of people. Ben Bones, who is the trainer of Spartan Ramirez. So it was a plethora of people for weeks and months. And so, yeah, I got to give them all the credit because before shows, after setting up the ring, they would show me the basics, the front rows, the back rows, the bumps. And yeah, rinse and repeat, just trying to master the basics. So I got to give credit to all those men, most definitely, and till this day, they deserve all the credit in the world.
Gotcha. So the next thing I'm going to ask you about is it's actually turned into one of my favorite questions because the responses I get are so varied on this, and that is, in the early stages of your wrestling training, what would you say was the most challenging aspect of professional wrestling for you to kind of wrap your mind and body around?
Most definitely ring psychology, because that's something that I nurture now more than anything is ring psychology. Make it make sense always, and the storyline and the story you're trying to tell within the match and the storyline that you've built with this promotion, and have been trying to tell for months and stuff like that. So that will go in the mental aspect of it, is the psychology of it for sure. Because I started at 14. So I was still in high school, so I was trying psychology, what? But on the physical sense, just the bumps, right? I'm a small guy, and I was 120 pounds when I started, so every bump was hurting. And but after that, it just I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it after doing it time and time over and over again. Yeah, it just kind of became second nature. So for sure, on the physical side, the bumps, and mentally the psychology for sure.
Gotcha. So, coming into professional wrestling, did you have an athletic background? Had you done sports? Had you done other types of martial arts? Anything of that sort that kind of gave you a physical background for professional wrestling?
So my older brother played for there was a hockey team here called the Laredo Bucks, but he was in the junior Bucks. So it was the amateurs, I guess. But we also did street hockey. So we did a lot of street hockey with the rollerblading and all that stuff. And of course, just played basketball, just not necessarily in the team, right? But in elementary school, I tried out for the football team. And that was going well up until they said, well, we have practices on Mondays and stuff like that. Even though it would not disrupt Monday Night Raw, which at the time started at 8 p.m. I think it would the practice would be from 5 to 7. I was like, oh, on Monday, I'm going to be late for Raw. And I just stopped. I didn't pursue football because I didn't want to miss an episode of Raw, which makes no sense because once again, the time, I had the time to go to practice and watch Raw. But for some reason, my mind was like, you're going to miss out. So I was like, no, thank you. But no, I guess to answer your question, no, I think I just did street hockey with my older brother. And that was it. I was always very active. My family always did sports. Like I said, my older brother was doing the hockey. He did basketball, football. My sister was in track and basketball, and my dad played baseball. I was the only one that decided pro wrestling. That's the path. So yeah, no, I think that's we're leaning more towards a no on that question for sure.
Gotcha. Man, I absolutely love hockey, so I'm right there with you on that. Hockey is a fun sport.
Yeah, it's if I was not, and I was just telling this to my partner Bobby last night. I was like, if I did not pursue professional wrestling the way that I did, I was like, I would have pursued hockey because it's still the same thing. I get to wrestle, I get to play in arenas in different cities and different states. So I get to travel, so they kind of go hand in hand at the same time. You're in the spotlight, you're on TV, you're on video games and action figures. So yeah, I was like, no, they're kind of similar in more ways than one. So I'd probably pursue that just because it's very, very heavy on the family for sure.
Oh, for sure. And my son, who is a junior in high school, is a lacrosse player.
Oh,
And
nice.
I don't know if you've really watched any lacrosse, but I mean, if soccer, basketball, and hockey had a baby, it would be
Be
lacrosse.
lacrosse.
I mean,
No,
because there's
I've
a
come
lot
across some
of there's
clips.
yeah, there's elements to all three of those sports in lacrosse.
Just combined.
It's a
Yeah.
really unique sport.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's super cool. I could never, just because I feel like it, because I know that's like within a team effort and stuff. So I know I would probably panic for all I know. But so props to him.
But so you mentioned that you've been a wrestling fan for a very long time. It sounds like the majority of your life.
Yes, sir.
What would you say is your earliest wrestling related memory?
I was in Nuevo Laredo. I was in my grandfather's house in my grandfather's room. And just excited to just be with my grandpa. And he's like, let's turn on the TV. So he turns on the television, and like he skipped like 2 channels, and it landed on Lucha Triple A, Lucha Libre, and it was La
Oh
Parca.
yeah.
And I saw, and like, because it shows La Parca, this man, masked wrestler in
Yeah.
a full on skeleton onesie, and they pan out, and it was just like the ring is in the center, the spotlight's on the ring, but he's making his entrance, and people are going crazy. And in the ring is also Chucky, so I think it was like a Halloween theme sort of night, and that was my earliest memory. This had to have been 2004. So yeah, like 2004, and all that other one was Lucha Libre Triple A, which became a full circle moment, as we go along. But yeah, that was my earliest moment. 2004, and all that other, and it was Triple A, and it was La Parca. Like it was.
Yeah.
That was it. That was it.
Well, my earliest wrestling memories were as an 11-year-old kid in Florida, watching the old Florida Championship Wrestling with Gordon
Right.
Soley doing the commentary. And that was kind of my first exposure. And then we moved to Georgia and started watching Georgia Championship Wrestling, which
Yes.
ended up evolving into WCW.
Yes.
But here in Atlanta, we actually had a lot of stuff from other territories on TV here in Atlanta. Like I've got a soft spot for Texas wrestling because we used to get world class on TV here in Atlanta, and
Awesome.
you used to get to watch the Von Erichs and the Freebirds and all that good stuff. So. But yeah, man, it's definitely being a long-term fan is just a lot of fun. It really is.
And you got like the territories, so you were
Yeah.
able to also watch like NWA and like World Class Championship Wrestling and see the Von Erichs, the Freebirds,
Oh, yeah.
Terry Funk,
Yeah.
Harley Race.
Yep.
That's so sick. That is a golden time for sure. So that's
for sure.
amazing. What a
For
blessing.
sure. So away from wrestling, what are some of your other hobbies and interests?
Love movies. I love movies. That's something that, like, with my family, we'd always do like a movie night. Very simple. Get some pizzas, rent a movie at Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, and do that. And if we weren't watching movies, like my dad and my brother specifically, they just love music. So my brother and my dad had their CDs. So my dad was very Metallica, Queen, AC/DC, and my brother was like Creed, Switchfoot, Green Day.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, so that was like the music, My Chemical Romance, all that stuff. So movies, music, and then my like stuff on the side is I love working out. I love jogging specifically. It's my favorite thing to do. I love reading. Obviously, like I'm Christian, so in my Bible I already have books that I finished highlighted, like beginning to end that I finished. So yeah, reading. And recently, like I used to journal a lot during the pandemic because I would tape study. And I would just kind of journal like spots and ideas, and even just kind of like the selling and the footwork and just gears. So I started journaling a lot. So I think that would be it. It'd be movies, music, working out, jogging, reading, and writing. Yeah, those are my top 5, 6
Gotcha.
for sure.
Well, we're mostly a wrestling related show, but we do dabble a little bit into pop culture and such, and I'm always looking for recommendations. So, are you by any chance watching or listening to anything really cool right now?
I think I'm keeping up with like Stranger Things, right? I hate spoilers. I don't even watch trailers for movies and
Yeah.
TV shows. So I'm caught up on Stranger Things. I know that's a hot thing right now. I know they're talking about the show Dairy. I'm trying to watch that. I think that's like on HBO. But I think lately, because I've been so caught up, this is probably the year that I'm very disconnected with pop culture. Like I said, unless it's something as hot as Stranger Things, where Instagram themed and like all the socials that I'm on are all themed the show that's coming up, like the hot thing at the moment. But yeah, nothing. This would probably be like the time where I was like, only Stranger Things. It's such a lame answer. That's the only thing I've honestly kept up with.
Gotcha. Well, looking over at the Instagram chat, Red Davis just said, John is the best blessing to my wrestling career, my dance partner for life.
Oh,
So
man.
that says a lot about you, man.
Right.
And it says a lot about him that he cared enough to make that kind of a comment.
Well, recently, first off, I love you, Red. Thank you for being here and watching. And then second of all, we just had a match. Him and I, we've known each other for years, I think 7, 8 years. And, we always did like tag matches, like regular tag matches, 6-man, 8-man tag matches, like little battle royals at the end of the show. But we never had a singles match. And we've always known each other for years, and we've shared locker rooms, and we got along great, hanged out outside of wrestling settings, and just, so we finally got this singles match after like 8 years, and it was great. It was fantastic. It was during Cena's retirement match. It was on December 13th for EBW, and we had a great singles match. I mean, it was so much fun. Like, of course, I already had a feel for him based on tag matches, but now it was singular. So we were able to adapt, and we had a good crowd. Surprisingly, since there was Cena's last match, we had a good crowd. And they were engaged, and it was fun, but it was also very hard hitting. It's one of my favorite matches this year, and it was towards the end of the year, right? We're in mid-December, and it's literally one of my favorite matches of this year, and like definitely like top 10. It was just so great, so smooth. So shout out to him. It takes two, so I couldn't have done it and have a good and fun match without him. So shout out to him too.
Gotcha. Well, you were mentioning, and we were talking a bit about this before we went on the air, that you are also a man of faith. So
Yes, sir.
tell us a little bit, we talked about some before we went on the air, but tell us a bit about your faith journey, just about the evolution of your faith. You talked a bit about your abuelita and all that good stuff. So, just tell us a bit about that side of you.
Of course. So, I was both sides to my family, my mom's side and my dad's side. I was born and raised a Christian. So I was born and raised in a church, I was always been around it. But once again, it was never forced. I genuinely enjoyed it, because I'm a kid, right? I'm like earliest memory. I'm 3 or 4 years old at a church. And of course, during church, you have these little places to go, and in these little classrooms to kind of keep you, okay and just quiet and calm. They'd play like the Veggie Tales and the animated stories of the New Testament. And that's kind of how I got my relationship with God, was through that, right? I love superheroes, I love comic books and stuff, but this was a nice way and a nice form of like getting my faith, stronger and believe into it, because I'm a kid, and it was through cartoons and stuff like that. But it worked and it helped. And then when I seeked it on my own as I got older, like I thought it was great. Of course, as I grew older, it was trials and tribulations and stuff that, I had some anxiety situations that, of course, like, I turned to God, I started praying. And I knew that in this walk, I would not necessarily be completely like, oh, as soon as I turn back to God, let's go, all problems are solved, all worries are gone. No. I'm in this walk, I'm in this storm. but I'm not alone. I have comfort within the storm and after the storm. And I have so much gratitude, right? Because I put my faith among something bigger. And like I said, like the book of Job is something that really helped me out, because when his faith was tested and everything was taken away from him, he did not doubt God for a second. And he was multiplied and blessed 7 times more than what he originally had. He got 7 times more of. So that's basically like there's that relatability to Job, and like strengthening my faith. So as a kid, of course, the cartoons, right, VeggieTales and the songs and the dances, but obviously as a 27-year-old man and going through these obstacles in life, right, like all you have is your faith, and sometimes all you have is the choice and decision to decide where do you want to go, right, in life. The choices and decisions are yours. You have free will. God gave you free will. Just use it properly. And I'm not perfect by any means. I'm still learning about the Word of God. I'm still learning about myself in this walk. But I have such an appreciation knowing that I'm not alone in it. Once again, like I can go to sleep at night. There was times where I had sleepless nights where I couldn't, but now I have that safety net, and that's God. So amen.
Gotcha. So, as I mentioned, you're from Laredo, Texas.
Yes, sir.
What is your favorite thing about Laredo?
The food. No. Yes, the food, but the culture. It's a community essentially. It really truly is, because it's very small. So it's like everyone knows someone. So like my dad's like, oh, I know this person who's like your friend's dad and the cousin of this. So it's very small. Everyone knows everyone, and it's a community. So there's a few places here locally. It's very local. So a lot of stuff is locally owned, like brands and barber shops and bars and restaurants and everything. So it's really cool to be able to go to those, support those, and just, like I'm gonna buy this taco from this local taco stand, and so on and so forth. It's a community, and there's all the support, and that's something that I really love and enjoy, because as I've traveled and like had like a stay in San Antonio, I was like, I don't really see it all that much, or nor feel it. Obviously, I'm still kind of new, but like in Laredo, it's just that comfort and that once again, it's just that community. Like I feel the love, and I know that there is like, oh, I'm here to help you and you're here to help me, and we coexist. And that's probably my favorite part, is part of the community within Laredo. It's a very nice it's very helpful, very supportive.
Gotcha. So, more activity over on the Instagram chat. BML7129 says he loves you and your biggest fan. So
yeah, Bree love you, Bree. Thank you for watching. Bree has been supporting me since 2023, I believe. I mean, she's been a supporter. She first saw me at Elite Breakout Wrestling on May 5th. I still remember because she had shared it and made a post. She's gone to Elite Breakout Wrestling shows, WSP shows, APW shows, 5-star shows, AAA shows that are, with the partnership that they had with Todas Entertainment and 3-Bat. So she's gone to all these shows in these different cities, different promotions, just to support me, support SDK, and support the other wrestlers too. So she is very passionate and loves this just as much as we do. So she's awesome, man. I love her. She's great. Number one fan indeed, 100%.
awesome. So, they say that the best wrestling persona is pretty much yourself turned up to 11. So kind of tell us about your in-ring persona. Tell us about Passionate1 and kind of compare and contrast him with everyday you.
What you see is what you get. This is me. I am Johnathan Vidauri, but I am Johnathan Life. I am the Passionate One. I love wrestling. I think about wrestling day in and day out, whether I'm in a ring or outside of a ring. That's all I'm thinking about. And it sucks sometimes because I'm trying to concentrate on just doing laundry or dishes or cooking my meals but it's all I'm thinking about constantly as a fan, as a worker. So it really is just me at a 50, like at 100 all the time, because I really do love it. you know, and in the darkest time of my life, when I was experiencing these anxiety attacks and panic attacks and kind of like, we're isolated in 2020 and it's COVID and it's bad and there's, you know, unfortunate passings because of it. I get my girlfriend at the time sends me like an email and she's like, hey, check this email out. I was like, okay. And it was like this thing from John Cena. And I was like, oh, what? And I knew he wasn't doing cameos. So I don't know how she got that to this day. But yeah, she gets this video and he's like, hey, Johnathan, it's John Cena here. And, you know, on your quest to be a sports entertainer, please stay safe and always stay passionate.
I saw that video, man. How did she pull that off?
I have no idea. She's just like, check your email. And, you know, like this was peak 2020, like this had to be like June of 2020. And just, she got that. And that's when I knew, you know, like, I was like, wow, like I have to come back some way somehow. Cause I had just gotten pneumonia a few months prior and back in August of 2019, the pandemic and quarantine and COVID started in March of 2020. So I was still not even a year in post recovering from pneumonia. And I was in the hospital for like maybe 3 days because of it. So there was all these health complications that unfortunately had me away, not by choice. You know, of course, like I live for wrestling and I would die for wrestling. You can quote me on that. And, you know, there's just a very scary time because just the precautions and all that stuff. But with the passion, with that message, you know, I thought I was going to get the hustle, loyalty, and respect, or the, you know, never give up. No, John Cena said, always stay passionate. So I took that and I applied it to my life, not just all for wrestling, for my life. And that's where it became like, I am the passionate one, and I will be the one to show you the passion. You're going to hear it, see it, but more important, feel my passion. No matter what, you're always going to feel it. When you see me, you're like, oh, this guy's passionate about wrestling through and through, in and out of the ring. So, yeah, and that's, once again, Johnathan Life is Johnathan Life. Johnathan Life is Johnathan Life. So what you see is what you get. This is not a gimmick. This is not a persona. This is just truly me. And I'm very proud of it because I'm here. I am alive. I am breathing, and I can spread this message, and hopefully everyone else can do the same.
Man, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So tell us about your very first match. What was it like? How did it go? You're laughing. There's got to be a good story.
It's just a great to me. Just because I remember everything. It was March 1st, 2014 for Laredo Wrestling Alliance at the Armory. And we were the first match, of course, and I was in a triple threat match. At the time, my wrestling name, my wrestling gimmick was Rocket. So it was Rocket versus Silent Storm versus Xavier Steele. And it was a triple threat. And man, I was so happy. They just didn't get my entrance music right. That's probably the one story that, you know, it's like, hey man, you know, you've dreamed about this. You're actually at a wrestling show, an independent wrestling show. Like you've trained, you have some type of gear, I guess, that's passable. It's an actual wrestling ring in an armory. There's people all over the place. There's a good house. Let's go. So it's the first entrance, the second entrance. I'm the last one making my debut. Great, first time ever. And it's not my music. So I'm looking at this ref, and God rest his soul, his name was Dino, and he's like, make it work. So I just go out there and made it work. And I was like, this is the rest of my wrestling career. That was the message. Like, hey, what I thought was going to be my song ended up being something else. I have to make it work. You know, cards subject to change, whether that's the music or opponents or anything. Yep. I made it work right then and there. But still, it was, you know, 3/1/14, man. Like, that's March 1st, 2014. It was my first match ever for LWA, and never looked back since. I mean, it's been just such an amazing and blessing of a ride to be a part of this business and industry. And yeah, that was my first match ever in like my professional wrestling career. So really cool stuff.
Nice. So, you know, we've heard about the first one. Now, if you can narrow it down, tell us about your favorite match that you've been a part of.
So after 10 years, you know, this is a tough question, but recently I've been very, very fortunate. So we just had this tag match. It was December 7th, and it was in Houston, Texas at the Arena Theater. And it was STK versus Empire. Santiago Medina and Aries Alexander. And man, that venue, the locker room, that crowd, that ring, just magic, man. I felt like I was on cloud nine. Like I felt like it was an out of body experience. Um, and it was just so smooth. Like, you know, I've sent that match to a few people that kind of give me critiques and everything, and they said that like my footwork was good, and then this and that. And I got good notes, but besides the good notes, like just being in that moment, present, like wrestling in front of that audience and listening to them react to anything and everything that we're doing is so special and magical. And of course, it takes two, or in this case, four. And man, it was just amazing. Like I was on such a high for a week. I couldn't believe the match and performance that I just had with these gentlemen, my best friend Bob and my good friends Aries and Santiago. Like, yeah, it's my favorite match, and it just happened like a week or two ago. And I'm so lucky and so blessed to share that moment. And that match is everywhere. You know, I got that link. Aries got that link. Go to YouTube. I'll put on my story afterwards. It's my favorite match ever, and it just happened. So that's definitely the one. It's my favorite match.
Awesome.
I love it.
So, if you could only be one, would you rather be great in the ring or great on the mic?
Great in the ring. Great in the ring. You know, like I said, I grew up in such a like sport-based household. So based on athletic ability, right, with hockey, baseball, football, you know, all these things, and I also love watching boxing and UFC and, you know, all that stuff. Like I love seeing the art in martial arts, and like just seeing how like someone can throw a punch or a kick and how their body moves and how they can kind of deflect. And like it's just a joy to watch, and it's a joy to do as a performer, because like although the mic is great, I'm always just eager to be in the ring. I think because I was that pandemic time where I didn't wrestle at all in 2021, I could cut promos on my phone all day, but I can't step in. I physically can't step into a ring. So I will always choose the in-ring in a heartbeat. You know, always, because I didn't have it for a good chunk. I want it every single time. If it's presented and it's an opportunity, I will take it and I will make the most out of it. So definitely in-ring, 100%.
Gotcha. By the way, I was during last night's show, I was cracking up with your interactions with Santi in the in the chat. You guys are too much.
Friendly banter, man. I love
Yeah.
I love that man. I love him. He is a brother, and we shared some moments within this this AAA Texas Mania tour together that amongst ourselves only we know and experienced. Yep. And it's something I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life, man. So love that guy. And it's friendly banter,
awesome.
But love him.
Awesome.
Love that guy.
So, you know, in the roughly 10 years you've been doing this, what has been the most unusual encounter that you've had with a fan? Do you have any crazy fan stories?
I love my fans. I've always gone to like for example, Bree has made us, me and Bob, cookies and posters and bought our merch. So we have the Brees that are like very great and supportive and passionate. Awesome. I've gotten some other ones, mostly online. I know they're real people because they're like, hey, you know, like I took this picture of you at the show. You look cool. I was like, oh, cool, man. Mind if I post it? Yeah. But there's this guy. His name was George. And he would message me all the time, and he's like, Johnathan, can I send you $1,000, please? And I'm like, no, it's okay. He's like, I'll send you $2,000. Like, no, I'm okay. He's like, all you got to do is like, just can you come wrestle in the state of Missouri or something? Like, I just remember it was very odd. And I remember I was with my friends, and they were just dying of tears. They're like, John, is this guy serious or is he trolling? And I was like, no, I think he's serious because it's been going on for like 2 weeks now. So I think that was probably the craziest one, is like, you know, I'll pay for this, I'll pay for that. And I was like, no, dude, like, thank you, but no.
Yeah, you go out there and you end up in his dungeon or something.
Yeah,
I mean, you know.
for sure.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Interesting. So
I thing he like when he went to that one show, I think it was like in San Antonio for like TWA or Heavy Metal Wrestling at the time. And he took a picture like great match, great performance, cool gear, cool entrance. Thank you. Can I repost the photos? Like, yeah, I'm not even from Texas. I was just here on business. Like, that's cool. I'm like, let me send you $1,000. Let me send you $2,000. Like, no. So that would be the one for sure. That does not leave my brain. That's hilarious.
Interesting.
Most definitely.
So in terms of your in-ring work and your promos and such, who or what would you say are some of your influences? Who have what wrestlers and what influences have helped shape you into the performer that you are today?
Great and wonderful question.
Thank you.
In the in-ring based style, my top three have always been Bryan Danielson, Eddie Guerrero, and Shawn Michaels. Those are the three that I've looked in, size and footwork and selling and gear and like charisma. Those would be the top three for sure. Obviously with time and, there's so much, there's the Ilya Dragunovs, Carmelo Hayes, Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, like super great stuff to watch. But then when it comes down to the promos, definitely Cena, definitely Punk, Cody Rhodes, Terry Funk, and that's four. So I want to fill in my five. I have to go with Triple H or Stone Cold, either Triple H or Stone Cold. But that just kind of, it's because it's authentic, it's genuine, it's grit. There is no breath wasted. Like we're going off the riff. And I know that one of the questions you had asked Aries last night is one of his favorite promos. And I know he answered with the Seth Rollins and Triple H one, contract signing. If you ain't making enemies, you ain't making money. It's the Antichrist one that they talked. My favorite promo, because I was thinking about it too as I'm watching. I was like, what would be my favorite promo? I like the pipe bomb, and I also like Cena and Roman when Cena was like, I can do this better part-time than you could ever do it full-time. Love that one. But my all-time favorite promo is Cody Rhodes the week before WrestleMania 39. He had just defeated Sosiko on Raw, and he grabs the mic, and he just had a match. And, he's like, Mr. Heyman says it's not personal. He's like, what a joke, how hilarious. But it's the line of, I don't wear a suit because I think I am somebody. It's because I want to be somebody. That's my favorite promo of all time because it resonated with not just me, but a lot of people. Like, yeah, when I wear like nice clothes is because like I want to be somebody. Like I want to be recognized that I am professional and I could look the part and be the part. So that's genuinely like my favorite promo of all time. Like I broke it down. And, Cena is awesome with Roman and Punk's pipe bomb, but Cody Rhodes is like Raw right before Mania 39. Love that promo. I absolutely love it. My favorite.
Yeah. Promos like that are clearly from the heart, really, usually those are the ones that really resonate and really stick with you. There's one that I've brought up a few times on the show. This was from Mick Foley back in his days in ECW. He did a promo where at the time his son was very young. He was like a little kid, and his son's name was Dewey. And somebody in the crowd held up a sign that said Kane Dewey, and it really bothered him. And you could just see this guy's raw emotion just at the thought of somebody caning his little boy. And I mean, it is such a real, emotionally raw promo. I recommend that one to anybody.
I'll watch it.
Yeah,
I'll watch it immediately after this.
Get on YouTube and just search up Kane Dewey or Mick Foley Kane Dewey promo. And you'll thank me later because I mean it is you really can just sense the reality of it to him. So
yeah, I got it. Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Have it saved. I'll watch it right now. I'm excited. Nice.
So kind of piggybacking onto that, do you have an all-time favorite match as a fan?
Oof, that is very difficult because I watch it until my eyes bleed.
Yeah.
So of course, yes, I do, and I saw my top five, and both of my top two are, my number one of all time is Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, their first match. That changed the trajectory of how I bump, my footwork, my selling, the execution of my moves to push all the way through my opponent, like past them. And Okada did amazing as well, and it just flowed so smoothly. And the fact that during this match, not once did Kenny hit the one-wing angel on Kazuchika Okada, and it was still this amazing match. Church, it was amazing. It's my favorite match of all time. My second favorite, because I was there live, and it's two of my favorites as well, is AJ Styles versus John Cena at the Royal Rumble in 2017. That's my second favorite. But yeah, for sure, it's 100%. It's Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega Wrestle Kingdom 2017. Love that match. Favorite match of all time.
Gotcha. So, and this can be present day or past. Who would be a dream opponent? Who
Bryan
would you
Danielson.
absolutely? Bryan Danielson. Yeah.
100% Bryan Danielson. I think we're both like 5'8". He's just a little bit heavier than me. Like I feel like 40 pounds, but like looks great. But yeah, 100% Bryan Danielson. That moment when he came down to AEW in like 2021, my delusional self was like, well, you can technically do the indies because a lot of AEW guys do the indies. I was like, man, I will save. I will get loans. I will pay for it myself. I was like, I just need that one match against like my number one, because he is my favorite wrestler of all time. Bryan Danielson is my number one. So of course, what better than to have that matchup, right? So of course it'd be Bryan Danielson, 100%. Love him.
Yep.
Love him.
So, what is your favorite move? What is something you just really enjoy doing? And on the flip side of that, is there a move that you won't do or you would at least rather not do, and that can be giving or receiving?
So, my favorite move, I recently just started doing it in honor of Hangman, is the buckshot, but I call it the lifeline. I've only hit it like 4, maybe 5 times because I just started practicing it after All In Texas, because there was such a significance to Hangman, and so I was like, I was like, I got to make this my finish. So I would say either the lifeline, my new finish, or I love going off the top rope, whether it be I think I'm gonna go with the missile drop kick from the top rope, specifically a double missile drop kick on 2 opponents, and I can kip up afterwards. I love that feeling. And it's weird because I have this love-hate relationship with heights. Like it's fun and it's not, but it is. So it'd be those two. It'd be my finish, and that'd be the missile drop kick. One thing I won't do, I'm terrified of just attempting. I mean, I'm gonna try. I think with community wrestling, shout out Caius, shout out community. I want to start trying to hit it. Yeah, Caius is the best. God bless him. I want to start trying the moonsault. But that for the longest time when I first started, I remember saying like, I'm never gonna attempt a moonsault. Because I would see like these botch clips, these botch videos, and there'd be people of the moonsault, or neck would be going like that. So I was like, no, I'm never going to try that. So that's probably one thing I won't attempt. I'll take any move. I think at this rate, my fear of it is gone. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that I won't take. Attempt, yeah, like I said, it just be like a moonsault, right? But I think it's something I can probably get over. But other than take, I'm fine. It's not ballet. I knew what I signed up for. Especially if there's all these bigger stars and possibilities, names that you can work. You're not gonna be like, oh, I don't want to take that move. No, you do what you're told. You know what I mean? So yeah. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, I won't try the moonsault, but I'll take any move. And my favorites is the missile dropkick from the top and my finish. I love those.
Gotcha. So, you've been doing this long enough that I'm sure this applies to one degree or another. So I'll ask you what hurts right now, or should I maybe ask what doesn't hurt?
Honestly, this is probably the year where, it's been my best year for sure. It's 100% out of all the years I've done it, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. like 2025 has been my best year overall in every sense, financially and match wise and everything. Um, man, right now I'm fine. I think just for a while, like it was like my lower back, uh, like last year in like 2024, it was like my lower back, and I don't know why, but I think that's basically it. And I think I'm all healed up. That's why like I try to stay consistent with like my stretching before I jog or stretching before I just work out and lift in general. So just my lower back for sure. So that would be it. But everything else, praise God, thank God. So yeah, it's very minor, but yeah, just my lower back.
Absolutely. So, over the course of your career so far, what is the worst bump you have taken?
Worst bump I have ever taken. Great question. Oh, this happened. This actually happened with my tag team partner, and it is not his fault at all. And I say that truthfully. We had this tag match. Yes, we had this tag match. It was One True Brand and Johnny Montana versus. No, it was Johnny Montana and myself versus One True Brand and Bobby Light. And we're going crazy, blah, 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 blah. And towards the end of the, like to go home or whatever, it's supposed to be like I take a superplex and I get hit with something else from OTB. On the superplex, I did not tuck my chin. I don't know why. I've taken a superplex over the course of 10 years so many times, right? It's like taking a suplex. It's all it is. It's a suplex just from the top rope.
Yeah.
For some reason, I didn't tuck my chin.
Ooh.
So, like, I will send you the clip. I have it saved. And, yeah, just the landing wasn't the best. Could have gone really bad, but praise God once again. Glory to him because I'm alive. Yeah, no, that was a nasty one. And it looked bad in the moment. Like, yes, it might have felt bad. But, man, everyone was just like, John, I don't know how you're okay. I don't know how you're alive. I don't know how you're walking. Like, you should be paralyzed. And I truly believe all those things. I don't know either. It was definitely that superplex from Bobby Light. Not his fault on me taking that move a million times. For one reason or another, did not tuck my chin. Very stupid of me. Very dumb and reckless and irresponsible of myself. And yeah.
You brain farted.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. I like, and then like John, why didn't you? I was like, I don't know. And that's my answer to this day. I was like, I do not know. I cannot give you an answer. Like, why would I intentionally not keep myself safe? Like, I have a son. My son was like 1 at that time or 2. And I'm like, I have a son to come back home to. Why would I do that? You know what I mean? So it makes no sense, but that is my honest to God answer. And it's on video. There's like 3 different angles of it. That's dumb of me, man. Dumb of me, but you got to be honest.
Gotcha. So I've got a little bit of a hot take question for you, and this is not even completely a wrestling related question, but it's kind of wrestling adjacent.
Okay.
And that is, do you think Jake Paul has any shot against Anthony Joshua tonight?
Controversial answer and delusional answer. Yes, I love Jake Paul. I am a Pauler. I love Jake. I am a Jake. Shout out Team 10. No, dude, genuinely, I always root for the underdog. Obviously, there's a height and size differential.
Yeah.
But he's the problem child, dude. He beat Mike Tyson, man. He beat Mike Tyson. He beat the greatest of all time. But no, that's just one of the guys that, like, I think, he started off as just like a guy who was on YouTube, a Viner, and then became this dude, like, right. Delusional. Does he have a chance full on 100%? No, but like, there's always, to me, I always say there's that 1%. There's that 1%.
Oh, yeah.
Doubt. We are.
I mean, on paper, I think it is a terrible fight for Jake Paul. But there's just something about that guy. He manages to make magic happen. So
he knocked out Tyron Woodley. He knocked out Ben Askren. He beat Mike Tyson. I am watching. I've been watching.
Yeah. It's going to be fun just to see what happens.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. No, I'll be watching. And you see, he's so good at that. He's so he's so good at that. Like,
Oh yeah,
you're gonna want to watch.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, the guy knows marketing, if nothing else.
Him and his brother, yeah, and that's something I'm
Yep.
trying to take notes of. Like, I started, like, man, I honestly think, like, man, like vlogging and editing and like YouTubing, whatever, it's hard, man, because I want to do that. I've always wanted to do that. Like, when I would join wrestling, I would, yes, want to be like my heroes, the Shawn Michaels, Eddie Guerreros, Bryan Danielsons, Kenny's, but I was like, I also want to be me. So, you know, I was like, well, I love music and I love entertainment, right? So I want to be like the Post Malone of wrestling, where, you know, I'm very real, I'm very authentic, I'm very genuine. What you see is what you get. I am me. Okay, I'm using my name, like I am Johnathan, like this is real.
Yeah.
Cool. And then, like, with like Jake Paul, like, well, let's try to get that everywhere. Social media, right? X, YouTube, Facebook, and now TikTok, trying to make yourself marketable and be unique, and have content to share. So, you know, I've always kind of seen that as like a good outlet of entertainment and like socializing and getting to grow yourself, your brand, you know. So that's something
Yep.
that's very, very important, genuinely. It's not just, you know, the bell rings, which is stay safe, be safe, but also when the lights turn off and the ring gets broken down, what do you do outside of it? Now you have these next 4 to 5 days to promote the next show for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, different cities, different stuff. How do you make people care? How are they gonna buy a ticket? Or how are they gonna pay? Because sometimes there's been some live streams where we'll purchase it online for $5. Or how are you gonna make them buy this? Give them a reason to. Like, you be that reason. If it's not working with everyone else, you be that reason. You take that responsibility and you run with it and you succeed at it. And I think Jake Paul has done amazing at it. Hence the Netflix showing in a few hours.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So, knowing everything that you know at this point in your life, if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Do not take it for granted. Definitely do not take it for granted. Enjoy and wrestle every match like it was your last. Like it is your last. Because it can be. We are not promised tomorrow. We are not promised tomorrow whatsoever to even wake up. Nonetheless, we are doing something physically challenging at a very fast pace in front of a live audience and in a ring that sometimes there's good rings and soft rings and we're like, awesome. And sometimes there's really bad rings where boards are sticking out and metal and all that stuff. And I got cuts from a ring that wasn't, you know, but yeah, enjoy it, have fun, and treat every match like it's your last. You know, I think that's something for sure. That's my approach now all the time. But that's something I wish I would have told myself during the pandemic. Is that's what I told myself. Like, I was in such pain. I was like, man, I should have enjoyed that match. Like, I would see a show in the city. I'm like, I don't want to, and I'd be complaining. I was like, this is a blessing. Like, why are you complaining about it? So yeah, I treat every match like it's my last. I wrestle like it's like my last match. And yeah, I mean that's definitely my advice to my younger self. Would have, you know, saved myself from a lot of bad decisions in terms of like bookings and stuff. But yeah, make every match like it was your last, for sure.
Absolutely. So, do you have any pre-show traditions? Any things that you try to do consistently before you walk through the curtain?
Pray. I definitely, definitely pray for not just myself, but I pray for my opponent to be safe, for the crowd to be entertained, that we walk out the same way we walked in with no broken bones, like arms, legs intact, head intact. So I always pray for myself, my opponent, and the well-being of the fans, and that they're entertained. So I definitely always pray. I try to drink a lot of water and I try to stretch a lot. And recently, just started listening to like music to kind of get into that zone. But like my two are like taping. Like first thing that goes on is like my tape. I'll put on my tape first. I'll stretch and I'll pray. And if I'm not like, oh, I'll have time for some music. But definitely stretching, praying, and taping up. Those are the first three. That like I will do. I will not forget to do those things. If I don't, like, I will not go out there unless I have stretched, prayed, and I have my white wrist tape. That's
Absolutely.
it goes. They all go hand in hand together.
So, just kind of a quick rundown. What all do you carry in your gear bag? And do you carry anything unique or unusual in your gear?
No, I always have. So part of my gear is, so I have my son's beanie. I wear my son's beanie to the ring. I always carry a piece of him to, so in my entrance, I always have him with me. So I always have my son's beanie because I wear it at my entrance. I have my inhaler because I have asthma.
Mm-hmm.
I recently started taking it before my matches too. That sometimes I forget though. There's times where I tell Bob, like, I need to take my inhaler. I feel great, but my inhaler's in there. And that's it. No, like I pack up. I'll have both my wrestling shoes. I have my all black wrestling shoes, my all white wrestling shoes, my all black kick pads, my all white kick pads, 2 sets of different knee pads. I have tights. I have biker shorts. I have my single like Johnathan Life t-shirts. I have my SDK shirts. So yeah, I just have like a lot. Like I have like this enormous gear bag just in case. I don't want to wear the same color as my opponent. I want to like, oh, they're wearing all black. I have white, right? Like I have red. I have pink and green and stuff like that. So I always want to just kind of stand out. So I try to make sure I pack everything, just in case. But excuse me, my opponent is like, we look a little too similar in gear, even colors. Like I get like weird about it.
Gotcha. Well, something that we've done in all of these that's just been kind of fun is we've let the current guest ask a question for the next guest. And last night I had, Mr. Aries Alexander. And the question that he posed for you is, how far are you willing to go to get to where you want to be?
Great question, Aries. As far as I have to. I will go as far as I have to. I already sacrificed time away from my son with traveling and everything. And as he gets older, like he sees the WWE logo and he says like, oh, that work. So he associates that with me and that's work. And I will make sure that becomes a reality. I will try anything and everything in my ability, mentally, physically, to go far, because if my son is associating to that work, that is going to make it work to be that place that I work at. So I have that motivation and inspiration and drive and work ethic because of my son. Big reason why, like I didn't let the pandemic stop me is because I became a father during it. And when I had, my son was born, I wanted him to, grow up and see his dad, be who I am today, and see me and be like, hey, even with the world shutting down, I didn't let that stop or kill my dream. I came back better than ever, mentally, physically, emotionally. Like I did not let that kill me. I let that strengthen me through God's grace, of course. And yeah, that's how far I'm willing to go, because even when the world was shut down, even when I thought it was over, I didn't really think it was over. I have notes, I have videos in one of my phones that shows 2020 and 2021, and like I documented just me and my mental health and how bad it was affecting me not being in the wrestling ring, just not performing in a live audience. But I knew it wasn't over. I knew it, I believed it, and no matter what, I just knew I was gonna be back, and back I am. Most certainly. So I am willing to go as far as I have to make any dream a reality for myself and my son, more importantly.
Absolutely. So, since this is part of a series, do you have a question that you would like to ask the next guest?
Yes.
What you got?
What is the reason that you started doing this? Why and what is the reason to pursue this? Knowing that there is sacrifice, a lot of time spent away from friends and family. Why and what is the reason for you to join this business?
How would you answer that?
I love it. I've been in love with it. The moment I laid eyes on it in 2004 in Olaredo and I saw La Parca for the first time, I fell in love. It was love at first sight. I never looked back. That is my first love. That is my first love. And like I said, it's something that no matter where I'm at, whether I was at school, whether I was like with any of my girlfriends at the time, all I can think is just wrestling, wrestling, wrestling. And it's just not me. And it's not even like, oh, me like watching it or me wrestling. Like, oh, the video games, the podcast, the books, the music, the action figures, everything, man, day in and day out. And I still have that going on today. It's my 24/7. And I've tried shutting it off. The world tried shutting it off for me, and it didn't work. It did not work.
Yep.
So they're going to take 6 feet. When I'm 6 feet under, that's when it. And even then, I'll hopefully up there. Same thing. Where's Terry Funk? Where's Eddie Guerrero? Where's Dusty Rhodes?
Yep.
You know, like that's. I am in love with it. Passionate about it. Dare I say?
Well, you know, let me tell you, the passion shines through. You know, you can just tell that you're taking this seriously. You've got the fire, you've got the passion. You know, good stuff, man. So we're pretty much at the end of things now. So do you have any upcoming shows or anything at all that you'd like to give some hype to?
Last one of the year tomorrow. After doing this AAA Texas Mania tour with STK and Empire, it was a blessing. We end the year of 2025 tomorrow for community wrestling as STK, the South Texas Killers, my best friend, my brother, my better half, Insatiable Bobby Light, and the Passionate1 Johnathan Life take on Revan Dark and D'Lo Cruz in the main event. These are some young, hungry cats. I know that they're just as hungry and passionate as me and Bob are. But they're going to have to work for it. They're going to have to, if they want that victory, they're going to have to earn it. They have to bring their very best. We're talking a combine of 18 years of experience within me and Bob together of SDK. That's 18 years of experience. So they have to give it their all because they're going to need it. But I know that if they really try, there's a chance. But definitely community wrestling. Shout out Caius. I'm so excited for him. It's his first show. It's my last show of the year, but community's first show and first of many, hopefully, in San Antonio, Texas. So, you know, you can buy a ticket to the door, or you can DM the community wrestling page on Instagram, or just Caius as well on Instagram, and he'll get back to you for ticket information and stuff like that. But yes, last one of the year. Looking forward to it. Get to share that with my best friends, D'Lo, Revan, and Bobby. Tag match in the main event. You heard it here first. And yeah, looking forward to it. Very excited. Very, very excited for that one.
Absolutely, man. Well, you know, as far as what we've got coming up on the Throwdown, this coming Tuesday, the 23rd, 7 p.m. Eastern, I've got episode 186, and our guest is a New York-based pro wrestler, Roachy Roach of One Division Pro. He is currently their heavyweight champion, and on that episode, I'm going to have him, and apparently also somebody from One Division Pro is going to be on as well, just to talk about that company. So definitely looking forward to that. And actually, that is going to be the final episode for 2025. With the holidays and everything, and everybody just getting busy around this time of year. Last year, you know, I did the same thing, you know, right around the holidays, kind of put the show on hiatus for a week and a half to 2 weeks. And then we'll be getting started back shortly after the first of the year. So, you know, definitely keep an eye on my socials, because I'm actually booked up pretty much through the month of January. So, nice. You know, that there's definitely some exciting stuff coming. And, you know, when you have a chance, talk to your buddy, Mr. Light. I would love to have him on the Throwdown. I think, you know, getting the other half of STK on would be a lot of fun. So, you know,
He's a blast.
Definitely send him my way.
Yes, of course, 100%. I most definitely will.
Yeah. And for those of you that have been watching this live, thank you. For those of you that'll be seeing this on replays and such on the web, thank you for that. As always, if you like what we've got going here, definitely do the old like, comment, share, and subscribe. And before we wrap this up, do you have any final words, Jonathan?
Always stay passionate, ladies and gentlemen. Those are words that saved my life, saved my sanity, mentally, emotionally, physically. I pursued the dream and became a reality. What I thought was impossible became possible. Control the controllable as well. You have the tools to be the best version of yourself. So sometimes you will doubt yourself. Sometimes you will hit this brick wall of doubts, and you'll question your own ability. But don't. It's not the end of the world. It's actually better for you to try and fail than for you to never try at all.
And the fact that the whole passionate thing came from John Cena is just so cool. I mean, that's really special. So
yeah, I feel like it was a message that was given to me, and I could have just kind of like gatekeeped it. I was like, this is just for me to always stay passionate. That's why I'm the passionate one. No, I want to share that message. The way he shared the message to never give up is the same way I want to send and share the message to always stay passionate. And that goes not just with wrestling, but just in life, in whatever you want to pursue, relationships, dreams, careers, anything that it is. Stay passionate, and that dream will become a reality, 100%. So that's
absolutely.
precious.
And on that note, until Tuesday night at 7 p.m. with Mr. Roachy Roach, be good to each other, love each other, and let's keep throwing down.